Okay, so last video, the last 4 problems, the second number 7 on this one, I will be using some of the decimal values pre-calculated. So anyway, so let's start with number 5. So again, this is in terms of secants and tangents, and while tangent can be converted into secant squared, I found it to be slightly easier for me just to kind of approach this without sines and cosines. So I'm going to change this to 3 times the tangent version is -1 plus secant squared x minus 4 secant x. So the idea here is if I had to convert this to sines and cosines, then I'm dealing again with 2 more different trig functions. And we're trying to keep them all aligned. And you're not going to have a scenario in which you can't align them in some way, shape, or form. Because, truthfully, if they don't align, that probably means you need a graphing calculator to solve it. So let's move the 4 to this left-hand side. So I get this. So 3 secant squared x minus 4 secant x. And this is going to get me a plus 1. Because I add the 4 and then the minus 3. And so this is factorable as if it's 3y squared minus 4y plus 1. It's factorable like this. 3y minus 1, y minus 1. So we can kind of convert this problem back to the secants. 3 secant x minus 1 and secant x minus 1. So it gives me these 2 options. Secant x equals 1/3 or 1. Now again, if secant x equals 1/3, that would mean that cosine x could equal 3 or 1. Now the thing is, 3 again is not possible, so we're actually just solving when is cosine x equal 1 within the unit circle. So my answer here would just be 0 and 2 pi. Since it is the same angle, that makes sense that we necessarily wouldn't have to write it, but if you look at the solution asking, it's including both 0 and 2 pi. So we want to state both to fit within the boundary of the equation it's giving us. Now onto this side, this one is one of the more complicated ones. So I'll show you why this is a little more complicated. So we have solved problems before where it is impossible for us to take out the sines and the cosines. Now normally what it is equal to, it's normally equal to 1. Remember we had something like sine of x plus cosine of x equals 1, and we have to think about those quadrant angles. And you don't see it here, but if I divide everything by 2, I get this. Sine of x plus 3 cosine of x has to equal 1. And so that puts us in a really interesting state where if we just kind of think about what possible cosine angles can work where some sine value plus 3 times that cosine coordinate has to be 1. Well, the first obvious one is when sine equals 1 and cosine equals 0, right? At the pi over 2 angle, that makes sense. And is there another case in which this is possible? Well, the only one I could think of is if 1/4 and maybe 3 times 1/4, but sine and cosine aren't 1/4. And I can't really do anything else because it's the only possible option. So again, when you have sine and cosine like this, you just have to think about what axis angles work. Okay, here we go. Number 7. I'm going to zoom in because there's quite a lot of work that has to be done here. So first thing, square root. So I get sine of x of 2, or sorry, not sine of x, sine of 2x plus pi over 2. Sine of 2x plus pi over 2 has to be equal to plus or minus the square root, or the square root of the 0.34, which is 0.73. So to answer this, we have to break it into 2 parts. The sine inverse of the positive 0.73 and the sine inverse of the negative 0.73. So what happens here is positive 0.73 equals 0.82 and negative equals negative 0.82. So this is where it gets tricky. In the first answer, I'll do this in red, that takes me about here in my unit circle. It's in the first quadrant, 0.82 up. But that also means I have to go 0.82 up this way. And in order to find this second value, it's pi take away pi 82. So we have 2x plus pi over 2 has to be equal to, from the red angles, 0.82, and then pi minus 0.82, which is 2.32. Now I'm going to do the negative. So since this is back by 0.82, I need its counterpart, which is 0.82 here. And if I look at the locations, this one is pi plus 0.82, whereas this one here is 2 pi minus 0.82. And so in terms of decimals, I would get 3.96 for the first one and 5.46 for the second one. Now, since this is a 2x value, that's all my first rotation values. I now need to take all of them and add 6.28, aka 2 pi. So my 2x plus pi is equal to these four values, plus adding 2 pi to them gets me 7.1. It gets me 8.6. It gets me 10.24. And it gets me 11.74. Now, to solve this, what I have to now do is subtract pi over 2 from all of them. Now, again, since these are all decimals, so I'm going to take all four of these, I'm going to minus the decimal equivalent of pi over 2. So I'm subtracting pi over 2 from all of them. So I get 2x equals 0.82. Oh, no, those are the ones I already have. So I have to subtract pi from all of them. Sorry, I did all these at the same time. And then, once I get that decimal, I have to divide them all by 2 afterwards. So I get those values. I divide all of them by 2. Sorry, I don't have that intermediate step there. But here's what I end up with after I take all of them and divide by 2. Negative 0.375, positive 0.375, 1.195, 2.765, 3.515, 4.335, 5.085, oh, I missed one here in the middle, sorry. And there's a 1.945 that should be in the middle there. Okay, so all these are pretty good except this one. This one is actually rotated underneath the unit circle. So to re-rotate it back in, I gotta add 2 pi to it one more time. So I'm gonna replace this one with its 2 pi counterpart, 5.905. So those are all 8 answers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 2 pi n. Very, very intensive in terms of the decimal. I hope it makes sense, like the process in which we did that. If the decimals weren't there and we were just doing the standard units, radians or degrees, I hope it makes sense why I'm taking multiple rotations and multiple angles. It's just thinking about the angles are a little bit trickier because they are not super apparent to us like we're used to. Okay, and our last one here, 2 sine cosine equals -1/2. Again, right here, this is a form of the sine double angle. This is a really good one to know because it takes a really complex expression and makes it quite literally one of the easier problems to solve. So I get sine of 3/2 x equals -1/2. So again, with 3/2, what we want to look for is we want to think of 1.5 rotations around our unit circle. So I get sine equals -1/2 at quadrant 3 and 4. So I actually only get 2 solutions in the first place. So I get 3/2 x equals 7 pi and 11 pi over 6. Because those are the only 2 rotations within my actual given rotation value. Multiplying both of them by 2/3 each gets me 14 pi over 18 and 22 pi over 18 plus 2 pi n. So that would be all the solutions given that rotation. So I hope that was helpful. I'll see you in the next one. Go back and feel free to watch any of the previous ones. Have a good day.